since Hillary is the topic of it, we do veer into the horror genre. We couldn't avoid that. So there's a little bit of that in the movie too. But the point is this. People always come to me and say, Dinesh, make a movie about Obamacare. Dinesh, make a movie about immigration. But people don't go to movies to get messaging. They don't go to movies even to be educated. They go to movies to be entertained. And we know that. So we make actually a very entertaining movie, which leaves you not only intellectually empowered, but emotionally moved and ready to act.
And it is horror. So you got interrupted at the break getting into her defending sexual predators. So let's talk about that story.
You know what's so creepy about it is this is Hillary in a little younger age. And of course, Hillary is such a chameleon that when she's narrating the story, it's her own voice. Remember, in some of the most powerful passages in 2016 were Obama talking in his own voice. And the reason we had his own voice is that he read his own book, Dreams of My Father, from my father, in audiobooks. So we could play sections where Obama's telling the story. Well, who can disagree? This is Obama talking about his own mind and his own life. And here we have Hillary in her own voice. Now, she's got the fake Southern accent. And she's kind of putting on, well, and she's telling the story about this guy who did a rape. Except when you listen to her tone, it is so frigid, cold. And then she talks about, I got this guy to take a lie detector test, a polygraph test, which he passed. And then she adds, which forever destroyed my faith in polygraphs. And then she laughs, ha, 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 you know, her famous cackle. And you actually begin to hear, in a way, this is the first time you say, well, that's actually the voice of evil. That's actually someone who is happy that this guy beat the rape thing and that she got him off. And she thinks it's actually funny.
Wow.
That the guy who did it was able to lie and get out of it.
And for me, it's knowing about how psychopaths and sociopaths are. They have this real self, but everything else is like fake to manipulate. When she goes to California and speaks to a Latino group, she puts on this fake Latino voice. When she goes to Kentucky, she goes, how you doing there, boy? Like she's, you know, Grandma Clampett getting some possum grits for you. I mean, it's like, I wouldn't hang around with anybody that when they got around different groups talked a different way. I mean, it is bizarre to show that that's what psychopaths do. And I think she's a psychopath. I think she's a full-blown psychopath, is that they do feel this need to just put on these fake acts. It's very creepy. What do you think?
I think so, and I think she might even have gotten some of this from Bill, because Bill is the master of it, and we have actually, you know, people have heard I did not have sex with that woman, but what they actually haven't heard is if you go back and play the old tapes where Bill and Hillary were both confronted with all this stuff, and the kind of silky nonsense that they put out there. At one point, I think it was Steve Croft says to the Clintons, well, you know, I think Americans can kind of accept that you guys, whatever your problems, you've worked it out, you've made some kind of arrangement. And then Bill jumps in, he goes, arrangement? We don't have an arrangement. We love each other. We have a marriage.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Yeah, she's not, you know, banging 3 chicks a day like me too. I mean, you know.
I mean, so I think what you do is, you know, what I try to do with these movies, at the end of the day, it's about peering into their soul. And with the Obama movie, I tried to get Obama. At the end of the day, it's not just about his policies. Yesterday,
he's out to bring America down.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, Christie stood up and recited the indictment against Hillary. Boom, point 1, point 2, point 3. And this is the Republican thing. You make a kind of legal indictment. But it's even more powerful if you can pull people into a narrative where they can understand Hillary as a person. They kind of get her, and then they realize what we're dealing with.
I agree. Well, that's why Megyn Kelly, I don't want to get off on a jag. I've watched her. I see her on that sinister power trip. It's that Jezebelian energy. And, you know, Roger Ailes, who made her who she is, to see her say he hugged me once too hard and I want him taken out. And I know, because I have the inside baseball, it is from the Clintons. There are talking points. People are being threatened. I've talked to the host. And it's like, wow, she really is an agent of the Clintons and all that stuff with Trump. And it's like seeing her join with evil. Now, this is 1,000 times worse with Hillary, obviously, but it's the creepiness. It's the dishonor of it. It's the sliminess that really tells you what we're dealing with is a bunch of evil people. Because I don't have the energy to run around and scheme and want to run other people's lives. I don't have the energy, and I study these evil people. They enjoy, like you said earlier, running other people's lives, knowing what you're doing, controlling you, ruining you, just because they're, quite frankly, jealous of you. And they're jealous of America. They're jealous of free market. They're jealous of open, free societies compared to everything else. Not saying we're perfect. And that's what you said in your first film, I think, is it's like they want to mount our head on the wall.